All right, Mid-Atlantic TV, we are live. We've got Adam Meister in the house, the Bitcoin Meister, and he was just here. We shot a little 4K video, little two-camera shoot, little interview video that's going to be up on my YouTube channel, areacable.com, midatlantictv.com. We'll find you right there. That video will be front and center. And I'm going to show your page here. There's the YouTube channel for the Bitcoin Meister. Came all the way from Baltimore, and he travels all over the world. So let us know what you've been up to recently, and talk a little bit about what we just did here.
Well, I'm happy to be back in the great state of Maryland. I am from Baltimore originally, but the last 2 years I've just been living wherever, all around the world. I've just spent 2 months in Cyprus, and before that I was in Lisbon, Portugal for about 2 months, and I'm about to go to Hong Kong. So I travel around and I talk about Bitcoin. My whole life now revolves around this Bitcoin thing. I have a Bitcoin channel on YouTube, very popular, and I make a new video every day. I'm covering the ins and the outs of the price, the future, the other cryptocurrencies, and just trying to educate people around the world about it. And it's been just growing exponentially since the beginning of 2017.
So I'm going to ask you the hard question. How do you make a living off of this? Do folks hire you as a consultant to help them out?
Yes. So that's, well, first of all, I want to tell everyone out there that I'm a long-term thinker, and I believe in the long term that, Bitcoin is going up by a lot. So, but I'm a long-term planner. So my whole life I've been planning and saving. And so I have some savings also that allow me to, travel around. I've invested well in other things. And one of the things I like to tell people is just don't live life frivolously. That my channel is more than just about Bitcoin. It's about living almost a minimalist type of lifestyle. So the question is obviously a great question. Have you built a tremendous business around Bitcoin? It's not a tremendous business yet, but I live quite comfortably because I just don't spend a lot and I've invested well. And I think people should just take that to heart. Don't try to be the guy with the Lamborghini out there. Try to save as much as possible. Think long term. It's little investments. Because a lot of people are getting into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency because they want to be flashy. They're like, well, I'll buy it today and I'll sell it tomorrow, then buy it back the next day, and flipping. And that's not what Bitcoin is to me. A lot of people use Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. There are a lot of other cryptocurrencies out there, like altcoins, alternative coins to Bitcoin, that stands for, that people are just trying to make a quick buck on. For me, it's just like, I buy and hold Bitcoin. I know it sounds boring, but that is my strategy because I know in the future it's going to be worth more. And if I do need to cash it out, it'll be a great, I've been buying and holding Bitcoin since 2013 now. So I'm pretty happy. But some people are like, oh, it's so late. I'm late to the game because this all started, it's gone up so much since 2010. Well, indeed it has, but still so few people know about it. So don't try to come up with an excuse saying, hey, I'm late to the game, because you're early to the game still here, people. And there's just, you can build all sorts of businesses around Bitcoin. So again, I know a lot. I'm living Bitcoin here. So people come to me for advice on how to store their Bitcoin, where to buy their Bitcoin, other questions about cryptocurrency too. So if you go to the channel, you'll see. I mean, you could watch all 500 my videos, and you won't need my consultation at all. But it takes some time to watch all 500. But if you want to, go ahead.
And I can imagine, though, that there are people around the world that are interested in investing in Bitcoin and getting heavily involved in Bitcoin, that there is a value in them being able to hire a consultant such as yourself to come out and help them with that. And if they can, several of them can band together, they can pay to have you come and hold their hand literally in getting set up with hardware wallets and things like this. That's a valuable service that you're offering. So
oh yes, and that's been discussed with people around the world, to have a mini Adam Meister conference where I teach them intensely for 4 hours, 8 hours, whatever it's going to be. I mean, again, I'm open to all sorts of ideas, because they're just a lot. I think people in the cryptocurrency space, in the Bitcoin space, take it for granted that they think it's easier than it really is. If you're new to this can be very confusing. So you need your hand
And
to
it
be
could
held.
be costly.
Yes.
I mean, if you make the mistakes that some newbies make, those can be costly mistakes.
And there's so many scams out there. You hear about cloud mining. People are like, well, why can't I just mine the Bitcoin instead of buy? Trust me, if you hear the word cloud mining, you should run away. The best way to get Bitcoin is either you earn it, you sell a service, you sell your sofa, you sell your car for it, or you just simply buy it. I mean, don't try to complicate matters from some third-party guy on the internet saying, hey, if you give me 2 Bitcoin, I'll turn it into 4 for you. That's a scam, most likely. You want to control your own Bitcoin.
Now, I did hear on, I was watching a video, somebody pushing gold, and you see a lot of people talking about gold and cryptocurrencies in the same sentence. And this gentleman was basically really putting Bitcoin down. And he was saying that there is nothing there, that gold, this is a real thing that you can hold in your hand, and that Bitcoin, there's really nothing there. It's not a real thing, and that there can be an unlimited number of crypto coins out there. And my way of thinking on that is, and I know you've said this on your show, is that first of all, you shouldn't invest in Bitcoin if you can't afford to lose that money. And if you're in debt and have other financial issues, the last thing you should be doing is investing in Bitcoin. But if you do have some extra money to invest, I think Bitcoin is the way to go because it's the early mover. They're capped at 21 million. And if it really does take off and becomes sort of like the default cryptocurrency for the world, the leader, in other words, the place where you put your money, like you've said, as a savings account.
World Reserve cryptocurrency.
Yeah, if it's able to become that, and I think that's still an if, right? Then I think it's a good, as you would say, long-term investment. But how do you counter arguments from somebody like him who talk about there can just be an unlimited number of these things?
Well, you're talking about Peter. It sounds like Peter Schiff almost. That sounds like something. Peter Schiff is a gold guy, and it's in his interest to promote gold and to, he thinks to put down what is digital gold. And that is what Bitcoin is. It was the first mover in the cryptocurrency space. So, indeed, people can create their own cryptocurrencies, unlimited amount of cryptocurrencies. Are they going to be popular? I mean, are they people can create their own social networks too, as many as they want. Does that mean Facebook is not the best one? No, Facebook is the best one. It can't be toppled at this point. And I believe Bitcoin cannot be toppled at this point as the number one. It has been through the trials and tribulations of scaling, of all sorts of issues, people trying to hack it. These other cryptocurrencies that are new, they haven't been through the technical trials and tribulations. They haven't had to spread the word about themselves. When people talk about cryptocurrency, they just use the word Bitcoin. It's synonymous with the world. With the word cryptocurrency. I mean, it's like Kleenex and tissue already.
Now, what makes you think that the scaling issue is solved, this August 1st thing? You've kind of mentioned that we shouldn't worry about that. What signals have you seen or heard that make you fairly comfortable that this is not going to be a big issue?
Well, because it's first of all, in the long run, it's the only segregated witness is the only way that Bitcoin is going to work. If we just keep this status quo, eventually everything's going to be so expensive to do a transaction, everything's going to slow down. It won't be, the price of Bitcoin will go down, and the miners who are holding everything up, it won't be worth it for them to hold things up anymore. So I just know that in the end of the day, these guys are logical. They want money. They want to be profitable. That's something that I keep in the back of my head. But we have this agreement, this New York agreement that Barry Silbert hammered out, and it's leading. The first step is segregated witness. So that is the confidence right there. It's segregated witness has been agreed upon. Now, what will happen after that? Is there going to be a hard fork? Well, people can go back on their word. The people that said, well, we're going to do a hard fork also, they don't necessarily have to do a hard fork. And I don't think a lot of them are, and I think it is going to be forgotten. And for me, it's just let's get this segregated witness implemented so things can work normally with Bitcoin again, with lower transaction fees, faster transactions. And then let's not do anything crazy where Bitcoin splits in two. And I think we're very much on the road to that. And I think the reason I try to instill this confidence in people that everything is okay, because if you worry about it every second of the day, it isn't going to make a difference. And in fact, it might lead you to do something really silly. Like put too much care into one date and just sell it all.
Okay, so let's say that segregated witness does move forward, and I mean, does that really give the system enough capacity to solve these problems where it might take 20 minutes for a transaction to go through? Is that enough to really do the job, and for how long?
Yeah, well, let's see. Let's see. I think it is. I think it is.
So you think that A, transactions will go through rapidly, B, the fees will be much lower.
Yes.
Low enough to buy a cup of coffee?
That's what they say. I mean, but is there really a demand to buy a cup of coffee with Bitcoin? We shall see.
Well, isn't there a little bit of build it and they will come? I mean, the merchants aren't going to embrace it if you can't buy a cup of coffee.
Well,
right?
but then they haven't embraced Litecoin can do everything that you just said. Mm-hmm. So if
yeah, but nobody has Litecoin.
Exactly. Well, it's just we're going back to what comes first, the chicken or the egg type of thing. If you build it, they will come. Yeah. So let's see if Bitcoin is the one that's the better brand that's out there.
But you think it's possible that segregated witness that will allow very cheap transactions?
Yes,
literally pennies.
It'll be better than what we have now, definitely.
Okay.
It's been tested. I mean, I'm not a technical genius. Mm-hmm. I'm relying on what the technical geniuses say here, mm-hmm. and let's see it through here. I mean, it's working. Litecoin, there haven't been any bugs on Litecoin. So.
And do they have other things that they're working on that are down the road that are going to make things scale even better? I mean, is this because this is going to be an ongoing problem?
You know, they are thinking ahead. The core developer people are thinking ahead. Like, what will the next step be? Mm-hmm. Maybe we will need a hard fork, but it won't be contentious at that part. We can't have a point where people are arguing over a hard fork. That's a contentious hard fork. That's where Bitcoin could split in two. We have to avoid that. So I mean, I'm confident that they are all thinking ahead and will analyze the situation because it's like a living thing. We have to see how this living organism develops. Mm-hmm. And but these smart people know what they're doing, and I am confident in them.
So the BitcoinMeister, how do folks get in touch with you?
Well, you can go to disruptmeister.com. Just Google BitcoinMeister, disruptmeister.com.
You're gonna find this website.
You're gonna find that website.
YouTube
all
channel.
My videos up there. I post a new video there every day. Mm-hmm. And I'm so happy to be on this video today. What high quality! This is awesome. I like this. This is my studio is nothing like this.
Well, I mean, we're just trying to push the envelope a little bit. We think the future of media, we call it the new media, right? Yeah. We think that home studios and/or a fairly professional studio at a business, something like this, a multi-camera setup, that's the future. That's how people are going to be communicating. So we're just trying to get out a little bit ahead on that.
Well,
also,
I think a proactive, forward-thinking person. I like that. Another way to get in touch with me, just email me at adam@trezorhelp.com. That URL is TREZOR help HELP.com, and that basically stands for one of my things that I consult on. I help people set up a hardware wallet where you store your Bitcoin called a Trezor, TREZOR.
Yeah, I got one while you could still get them. Now they're really sold out.
I did a video on that yesterday, actually, how popular they are. They got one of the guys who sells these hardware wallets. Because people want to take care of their Bitcoin. It's
people need to get it ordered. They need to get an order in.
Yeah,
they need to get in that queue.
Yeah. And I have affiliate links under my videos, and so where you can get in the
and we'll put some links with this video also.
Yeah. So Adam at trezorhelp.com is a good way to just get in touch with me. And again, I'm at TechBalt on Twitter, TECHBALT. But I encourage everyone just to go to disruptmeister.com, watch the videos. They're They're a lot of fun every day, and you never know who I'm going to interview. You never. Every Friday we do a weekly summary show. That
Now,
we
how
do
much
know.
trouble do you have when you're traveling? Do you sometimes have problems with an internet connection? Do you still do the show every single
Every day.
day?
Well, I make sure I'm staying at a place with a good internet
You
connection.
figure that out.
I figure that out in advance. I'm a little bit worried about Hong Kong. We'll see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how that goes. But I mean, the biggest problem when you're traveling is just getting. You're in a different time zone.
Yeah.
It's a 7-hour time difference in Cyprus, so I was doing shows at 5 in the morning over there sometimes.
Yeah.
And, oh,
Yeah.
God, but it's an adventure. It's an adventure. You adapt, and the show
Well, and
evolves
you've
from
been
that.
consistent with it, and that's the key. And people look forward to it, and they count on you.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, keep up the good work, and we'll
Thank
keep
you.
watching, and we'll see where this wild Bitcoin stuff goes, where it ends up.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be an exciting ride.
Well, thanks for having me on. I'm really excited about it.
Well, there we go. Let's hit this terminate button here. Stop the broadcast.